All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the live stream. Looks like we've got a fair number of folks here already. So we'll go ahead and say hi real quick. Looks like we've got Big Steve's Glass Boxes was first. Davo was second. Hello, Uncle Smiley. Hello, Jacob Mahaffey. Welcome. Hello, Foxy. Hope you're doing well and hope you're ready for your big day coming up here real quick. Hello, Flatbed. So so we'll give it a couple of minutes for folks to join, and then we'll kind of give it, and then I'll do while we're waiting. I'll go ahead and give a recap, kind of what's been going on. Chelsea, as you guys have, we've talked about, she's doing well at college. We saw her this weekend for Parents Weekend at Michigan State. She's doing well. Seems to be enjoying her classes and things. Seems to be going well for her. So at the fish swap, which I'll talk about here in a moment, that was kind of a last minute thing. And we had a pretty interesting fish club meeting that you'll see a video of that comes out the weekend of the Keystone Clash. We had Ben Van Dither come do an aquascape live. And then we raffled the tank off, and then someone was able to win the tank and take it home. So it was a pretty nice tank. I didn't win it, unfortunately, but aquascape tanks are not my forte per se. So, happy somebody won it. BAP'd a bunch of stuff too, which was nice. Got a pretty good number out there right now. I'm pretty happy with. I got one other species I'm working on, and then I've got to dig up some other stuff to kind of keep it going. So, off to a pretty good start for the year in terms of the fish club. Just so you guys know, our fish club actually starts its season kind of basically like August to June. So I'd prefer it to be like on the year, but this is the way they do it and the way it's been done for eons, I guess. So, we've got a fair number of folks here. So we'll kind of talk about the swap. It was kind of a last minute thing. I wanted to sign up for it, but with the family weekend going on, I didn't really know when we were going to see Chelsea, when we were going to go to Michigan State. So, and any of that. So, I didn't sign up for the swap, but then a gentleman from our club had a conflict who had a table. So I ended up buying his table and ended up selling at the swap. I did pretty well. If you see the table that's in the thumbnail, I came home with about 5 bags. So basically what I did for pricing and things like that, I kept it simple. One, I didn't want to make a lot of change for people, so I kept everything in increments of 5. So basically, all of the small bags of plants that were on the table, there are mostly like crypts, Java fern, Vallisneria, guppy grass. All those smaller bags I did for $5, and then the big bags of guppy grass in the back I did for 20. The couple pieces of driftwood I did those. One was 25 and the other one was 20. So like I said, I sold all of it other than 3 bags of cherry shrimp, a Limia vittata, and the 2 bags I had of Iliodon furcidans. And for whatever reason, I was very surprised. I thought people would buy the shrimp, and I also thought people would buy the trout goodians, but no one bid on those. So, hello, Peplin. Hello, Skull. Yeah, so unfortunately, I was a little bit surprised. I think I overpriced the shrimp a little bit. I had them 10-ish for $20, which I thought was a pretty decent price. But there was a gentleman next to me selling that he had 50 for 25. So maybe I overpriced them a little bit. I ended up selling 2 bags for $10 to someone who came by at the end. But yeah, so I think I kind of had them a little bit overpriced, but like I said, I was pretty happy with how I did. This was kind of a test case for maybe some things I might do in the future. I did learn a little bit. People do want Java moss for some reason. Literally sold out of that in 5 minutes after the show started. So it was like Steven's working in his tanks. Welcome, Steven. Hello, Jonathan G. So yeah, so we basically went well. So next time I do it, I'll definitely bring more Java moss. yeah, I think we'll do. Yeah, it kind of was a, like I said, I had a good time. I was very apprehensive about selling swaps for a long time. I went to one and I didn't really have the best experience. Like it just, like I didn't do very well, and you know, it was ended up with a bunch of stuff to bring back, and so I was kind of, um, un, you know, I was kind of disappointed in that, so it kind of turned me off to doing it. But I'm probably going to do it again. There's another one in December, so I need to kind of get on the stick and get that set up. Um, so it's kind of funny though, like people I don't think realize that you can make a fairly decent amount of money at one of these. I mean, it's not going to like pay for a mortgage or anything, but just basic aquarium plants like guppy. I mean, all the things I sold were really basic. I think the hardest plant I sold was either the Java fern or the crypts that I had. Other than that, it was like guppy grass and Java moss and things that were just kind of easy to grow. It was easy for me to grow. So, I think it's kind of interesting how that works. But like I said, I was surprised with the cherry shrimp and the trout goodeids. And one thing I learned about the trout goodeids is maybe it's the strain that I have. Hello, Fish Fam Link. Is they were nasty. Like they were straight up. They were like literally. They killed one of them in the bag. Like I watched them do it as I'm sitting there at the table. So I'm gonna have to single bag trout goodeids from now on because apparently they can't play nice in the sandbox. So, but yeah, they were nasty. Like really straight up, like nasty to each other, and like it was weird. It was like having like cichlids. It was wild. Most of the other goodeids that I've bagged were not really like that. I mean, they like had singled out this one fish, and they just, literally was the swap start. I'm sitting and watching the bag, and they were, I mean, and they killed it within probably 10, 15 minutes, and there was nothing I could do. So, and like I said, I found out Thursday, so I didn't really have time to plan like I would have. When we go out to the barn, I'll probably talk a lot more about the Keystone Clash plans, but I like to set everything out ahead of time, have them, drop all their waste and do all that stuff. And then, I can go ahead and, they're easier to catch. The water's clean. I use clean water and all that stuff. And this time I just kind of had to wing it. So, a couple of the bags were not as presentable as I would have liked, but still, like I said, pretty happy with it overall. So, so heading into the Keystone Clash, kind of switching topics now. We'll talk some about the Keystone Clash prep when we go out to the barn. You're going to see the barn is kind of right now in sort of a disarray. That is kind of what happens when we start doing, auctions and swaps. The barn just gets in its, in a different form, we'll call it. So, that's happening. We're going to get that rolling here this weekend. Like I said, I like to catch the fish out ahead of time, so I'm probably going to catch fish on Sunday for all the things I'm bringing to the Clash. Unfortunately, there probably are going to be some fish that have roommates just because of space. Like I usually have 2.5 gallon tanks. I set them up, which is generally works pretty well. But there are going to be some fish that are going to be having some roommates just out of needs for space. So, hello, Beto Great Lakes, welcome. But I am looking forward to the Clash. It's been a very long time since I've been to a fish show, way too long. So looking forward to the drive to Pennsylvania. I will be there on Thursday. I'm guessing like afternoonish time frame. It's about an 9 hour drive for me from Michigan to Pennsylvania. So shouldn't be too bad. Not like a really brutal trip. I've driven part of it before. Though I've never really been to like the Philadelphia, Harrisburg area. So that's a kind of a new area for me. So, looking forward to seeing that. Looking forward to the Amish restaurant. That may be a breakfast haunt for sure. Looking forward to the fish show and all the other, stuff that's going to happen there. So, hello South Bay Sapphires. Hello Ed, how's it going? Hello Mexicali. I think I got everyone. If I missed anyone, I do apologize. Hello, Sleeper Barbecue. I know I said this to you in the chat on Steamfot stream, but thank you for the towel. So, the Foxy will be getting it on Thursday too. Yep, I'm getting ready to pay the exorbitant Pennsylvania tolls, which are not cheap to travel through that state. I know there's a pretty wild tunnel that you get to go through. When I went to Maryland to the Big Fish deal many years ago, like right before the pandemic. Oh, yeah, no, 8 hours isn't bad. That's an easy one. And I'm not driving to Atlanta, so. Yeah, so basically, yeah, so they're driving from Texas. That's a long trip. I've done the 23-hour trips numerous times. We did Florida this year. We've done Florida the last few years. Don't know if we're going to do it this year now that Chelsea's now that she's in college. I don't know if we're going to do trips anymore or not. I don't know how that's going to work. Foxy says they don't invest those into the roads. Yeah, that's kind of odd because like I've driven to I-80 to the Aquatic Experience when that was going on, and those rest areas I don't think have been updated since like 1950. So yeah, I don't know if I want to drive 80 again. 80, I've done 80. 80 is boring. Like it's mountainous though, which is a different drive than driving around here. But we'll see. I mean, I'll probably take 76. You travel through a lot of cities though. Kind of an interesting trip. I'll take you through. Like I'll go through Toledo and Cleveland. Youngstown, Pittsburgh, so quite a few, yeah, so, I think Alishon was here. I saw him in here as well. Hello, Joe's Fish Room. So if I missed anyone again, definitely my apologies. Yes, but I am looking forward to it. Like I said, I signed up for 19 entries to the fish show. I did learn actually what I needed to do. Unfortunately, I won't be able to pull it off. So when I was at the swap, a gentleman had milk jugs, but unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to find like 40 to 50 gallons of milk jugs between now and next week when I leave. So. I could use these little empty cat litter things. So for our 4 cats. So maybe you may see a couple of these, but yeah. So I remember though driving to when I drove to the Keystone class or to the Aquatic Experience. I just remember it was the wild drive because Pennsylvania is so big. Like, getting to Youngstown, Ohio is like 4 hours, right? From Detroit, it's a good 4 hours here in Youngstown. Kind of lunchtime-ish, maybe like 1 o'clock or so. You stop in the Ohio Turnpike, grab a little lunch, and you're good to go. But yeah, once you get into Pennsylvania, I just remembered it was like the whole afternoon was basically spent in Pennsylvania, and then once you get, I remember like my drive was. Was coming to an end when I got to the Delaware Water Gap, and the scenery there was awesome. Like I really enjoyed the scenery. That was outstanding. But it was just like you just knew when you were there. And the hardest part about it was the most traffic and busiest part of your drive was when you were like the most tired, right? Because it gets dark. It's fall, so it gets dark earlier, and yeah, so it was just interesting. Like when you're driving in like New York, and it's like you're tired. You've been in the you've been driving all day, and it's just like, oh, like this is not what I'm up for right now. So Yeah, 15 hours is kind of my max. Like I did 15 hours. We did it from what do we do it from? We did it from um, Myrtle Beach up to Detroit one day. We just decided not to, um, decided just not to stop, and we just went right on through. So Alashon says 5 hours end to end. That makes sense. Scary enough. I think if you went end to end in Michigan, I think it's like 10. Like by the time you go across the UP too, like if you take it from like, so this is the mitten, right? We do, then we got our Upper Peninsula. If you go from here to like, however it is, here it's like 10 hours. But yeah, so yeah, it was just like I said, I think the worst though is driving to like Florida because at the end of that drive you get to Atlanta, and that is not pleasant. I think the only time Atlanta might be pleasant is like 3 o'clock in the morning. Um, I think that is the absolute worst city on earth to drive. Detroit, even in rush hour, isn't bad. Like there's not really. There's like one or two places that are kind of bad. Like if you were driving, um, but yeah. So Ed will not be attending. So he's spending time with Mishi Tobler. Um, Sounds like fun. So I don't know if you guys know who he is. He's a one of the main players, kind of in the G'Day world, the ALA world. So, um, yeah, Atlanta's not good. So I seem to think that Atlanta's worse than Chicago. Um, I don't know if it's me, but I think Atlanta's just like Chicago has like one bad intersection. Um, like Chicago, like right when you get downtown, it's bad. But I think once you kind of get back out of that, it's not horrible. And then especially if you take the Skyway, you kind of circumvent some of it. So, um, I've actually never met Mishi. I was reading Peplin's comment. Um, I actually like. I've not minded Chicago as bad as much as Atlanta. So, like I remember, like I mean, like I've lived in Detroit, so I've been to Chicago a billion times. But like I've never had that many. I mean, I've been in traffic, but nothing like Atlanta. Like I mean, I remember. I mean, every time we drive back from Florida, it's like 3 hours or 3 or 4 hours to drive through Atlanta. So, but anyways, we're getting to 8:20, so let's go ahead and we'll play the fish game. Um, yeah. So, yeah, my only part was that is with Chicago that's bad is that 190, 94, 90 kind of mess that's right in the middle. Other than that, like I've not found it to be atrocious. Not good, but not as bad as Atlanta. All right, so let's flip screens around and we'll get the fish game up here. All right. All right. So we're here, fish game. That looks like so. All right. So gave her some interesting things here. So let's go ahead and if you guys haven't played, so basically what I'll do is I'll show you a picture of the fish. Guess if how she thinks, how she feels about it. Basically between 1 and 10. 1 is very basic. 10 is cool. After a few moments, I'll show you her answer. So so with that, let's go ahead and go with the first one here. We have the knife fish. So let me know what you guys think of that. So, or what she thinks of it. So. So Zen's got 8, Davo's got 6, Foxy's got 3, Sleeper Barbecues has 8, Steven's got 4, Zen for real, LOL. South Bay Sapphires has 7, Jacob's got 5, Alishon's got 5. Fish Fam Link says to hit the like and subscribe. So if you enjoying the stream, definitely subscribe, hit the like button, do all that fun, happy stuff. So, speaking of that, I think we'll have to do our Uncle Smiley's got 5. So Zen says, I'm learning she doesn't care as much as I thought about color. She likes the weird sometimes, so I shot higher. All right, so with that, I think we'll go ahead and give it a couple seconds here, and then we'll flip it to the next one. So with that, she gave it a 2. So she was not down with this kind of weird, I guess. So, so Steven says, I'm learning nothing about teenage girls, though I knew that already. Yeah, just, let them do their thing, man. So, yeah, just let them do their thing. So, so hello, Lucky. I think that's a new name, so welcome. All right, next one up here. There's a little bit of a brackish theme tonight. So this is the figure 8 puffer. So we'll see what she thinks of this one. So Zen, no, Zen, you do pretty good normally. But remember, she's gone through a significant life change. So her opinions may change based on her new surroundings and experiences. So Sleeper Barbecue's got 8, Zen's got 9, South Bay Sapphires is 8, along with Davo. Steven's got 7, along with Alishon. Foxy's got 8. Jonathan G's got 6, along with Jacob. Uncle Smiley's got 8. So Flatbed's got 7. Joe's Fish Room, welcome. It's got 6. Lucky has 7. What would be really funny is if Chelsea did a fake fish account and came on here and started guessing on her own stuff. But I think she's got better things to do, I think. but we'll see. Maybe she will someday. All right, give it a couple more minutes here, and then we'll go ahead and flip it over. So if we flip it, got 8 out of 10. So looks like Uncle Smiley's got it. Foxy, Davo, South Bay Sapphire, Sleeper. Zen was off by 1. So Stephen, Alishon, Flatbed, Lucky were all off by 1 as well. So guys, we're pretty close on that one. The next one, paddlefish. So this was obviously not brackish. Yeah, college is still shiny right now. I think it's not as shiny as it was because I think they're all sick. I think they've all got like the crud or the allergies or the whatever. But yeah, they're like her roommate. She said her roommate wasn't feeling well, and when we saw her this weekend, she was kind of coughing too a little bit and got the allergies going and all that. So. Sometimes too, I try to get her to, with the most this obviously will probably stir a reaction just by like the posture of the fish. So I kind of try to do that sometimes too if I can come across it. So we got 10 for Davo, 3 for Sleeper Gill, Sleeper Barbecue. Jacob's got 6, Alishon's got 8. Joe's got 3. Jonathan G's got 9 along with Lucky. Uncle Smiley's has 8. Zen's got 6. Alishon says college dorms are a viral plague. You know what gets me? Is actual like fish conferences too. For whatever reason, every time I go to like a fish thing, like I always get sick. So I'll probably get sick when we get back from the class for no good reason. Like when I went to see when I went and spoke down for the Garden Eater down in Tampa, like I came back and like got COVID and like yeah, like so. Foxy's got 8. So give it another couple seconds here. And then we'll go ahead and we'll flip it over and show you guys what the results are here. So going once, going twice, sold. 4 out of 10, which I don't think anyone got 4. I don't see a 4 on there. Sleeper was closest with 3 along with Joe's Fish Room. I knew she didn't rate it very high. I don't think. Oh, Steven's got 9. Yeah, grade school is the petri dish. Yeah, I mean, my wife taught in a high school for 20 years, and I swear, I was going to say, yeah, I swear that she has like the immunity of an iron horse. So, Foxy said start taking multivitamins a few weeks before show, really helps. Yeah, I actually take multivitamins regularly, so I don't know if I could. That's really, I don't want to like OD on those or anything. So unfortunately, that doesn't work for me. Maybe I should take like vitamin C or something. But yeah, for whatever reason, I seem to I think I just get run down, and then whatever random whatever catches up to me. I think that's more what it is because I'm off my normal. I get off my like normal schedule and whatever. So, Alishon says he knows 2 people who got sick from Aquashella. Yeah, I think when I went to the Triple Crown a few years ago, I know that there was like a COVID test sitting in the trash, and I'm like, well, that's not good. So, I didn't get sick from that one. So up your vitamin C and zinc helps. Yeah, I might have to take some vitamin C with me. Hug less, wash hands more often. LOL. yeah, that's probably a good idea too. Hello, Clicks Images, welcome. So with that, we'll go head on to the back to the brackish theme with the mud skipper. So this is another one that I think could go either way. So yeah, Triple Crown was a super spreader. I can't talk though because when I got back from Florida, when I spoke, I was actually the super spreader. We had a meeting at one of our manufacturing facilities. It was like this 3-day meeting with like pretty high up people, and I gave quite a few of them COVID, so I can't really talk. Like I sucked it up the first day and a half, and then like I was done after that. So, um, Davo's got 10, Foxy's got 6, Zen's got 8, Sleeper Barbecue's got 5, Jonathan G with 6, Alishan is 8. Yeah, I actually, you know what, the Triple Crown I don't think I got sick from, but a lot of them I do. My wife has actually talked about it. Um, it was like she's like every time you go to a fish thing you get sick. Like I'm like okay. So Uncle Smiley's got 5, Jacob's got 7, um, Joe's Fish Room's got 2, Steven's got 9. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Like for whatever reason, and maybe it's fresh in my mind because of what happened in Florida. Like I got kind of way off the sick train. So not as bad as the first time I had COVID, but it was still not good. So all of you who scored mud skippers less than a 5 are now on Zen's list apparently. So if you don't like mud skippers, you've got beef with Zen. So all right, give it a couple seconds here. So yeah, I had COVID. Alachan said he had it 3 times, not much in the way of symptoms. The first time was absolutely atrocious. I literally had the chill so bad that I literally was shaking between getting from like the bedroom to the sink. Like maybe like 15 feet, I could barely make it. I not like I would wake up with chills, and then I would take the ibuprofen and it would go away, and then yeah. So it was one of these back and forth like I was in bad shape for probably 2-3 days, and it got better slowly, but that was not good. The second time wasn't as bad. Like it was more of like having the flu and just not feeling well kind of thing, and like, but like I said, I got through it both times, but not pleasant. So mud skipper, we'll give the drum roll 6. So middle, she rode the fence. So let's see if we had any 6s in here. Flatbeds, nope. No, we had a 5. Jonathan G got it along with Foxy. So a couple people got it there. So awesome. Yeah, so Foxy said it was harsh on her. She only got out of bed to feed the axolotls. Yeah, I don't think the fish ate for the first one. The fish were on their own. So yeah, I don't have anything that needs really special handling per se. So we're done. Like the fish got fed when I can make it back out to the barn. So with that, let's move on to the last one here. This is the scat. So along with the so Chelsea reached the disappointed factor with Zen because she did over a 5. So Flatbed says he needs. Oh, probably just mistyping. I do that. I mistype like all the time. I do it at work too, and I get really pissed at myself for it because my mind goes faster than I can type, and then I'll read something later after I've sent like a chat message, and I'll be just like, oh my dear Lord, that's awful. So, all right, so Foxy's got 2, Davo's got 6, Alishon's got 3, along with, or Steven's got 5. Zed and Jonathan have 7. Jacob has 6. Uncle Smiley has 4. Sleeper Barbecues has 8. So give it a couple seconds here, and then we'll go ahead and flip it over. Going once, going twice. Sold for 8. Oh, Lucky came in with a 3 at the last minute here. So, all right. So 7 or 8. We had Sleeper Barbecues got 8. Looks like Zen and Jonathan G were close with 7, and that was really about it. So, all right. So, all right. With that, I think we will. Let me flip the screens all back around here, and sandwich-shaped fish. Yep, for sure. So we'll flip it back here to the screen. All of my stuff flipped around here. All right, so we're back. We're gonna head out to the barn for a little bit. We'll talk a little bit more Keystone Clash prep. I've got a lot to show you guys, kind of with how how that goes. So I know we'll take me a couple minutes to get out there, but should be a good time. So barn is a little bit of a mess right now, obviously with the chaos of with getting ready for a fish show. Just packed up, having to pack for the swap. So barn's in a little bit of disarray at the moment. But anyways, let's go ahead and head out there, and we'll get after it. All right, can I get an audio check, please, and a video check? Looks like video's good on my end, but can I get an audio check real quick? And then we'll kind of pick up the tripod and go around here. Unfortunately, I lost my little tripod thing. I don't know where I put it, so I'll have to find it later. All right, cool. Thank you, Foxy. All right, so right now, just since we're there, we're looking at the Chapalictes pardalis. These are from the OD Agua de Tacumbo, also known as the Bonario, which is basically like now a swimming area. Those are kind of hard to come by. Those I'm not bringing any of those to the auction, but I figured I'd show them to you. Maybe I'll show you a couple of fish I'll bring to the fish show too, I guess, as we're going through it. So, all right, let's. What I'm kind of thinking right now, most of this is going to be just auction stuff, but one of the things I'm thinking right now is maybe some of these Jardins Metallicus. I don't know how many. I guess if you're kind of local to that area, let me know a little bit. I want to bring some stuff that people haven't seen. So maybe some of these. I'm definitely going to bring some groups of these Xenotoka Dodroi. I've got a ton of these, so I'll bring some of those. Just kind of just one of the fish. I'll show you some of the fish I'm going to bring on, not all of them. But I'm going to bring this guppy to the fish show. Got him. Oh, he left already. Hold on. I'm backing up a little bit. But I got that guppy. I guess you don't need to see him. And then I'm going to bring this this Shuba Blue too. The big male right there. So in terms of going to the show. So in terms of the auction, let me take a look here. I'm trying to remember my list, so my apologies. It's going to take me a second. Actually, a lot of it's going to be probably from downstairs. You know, as I was kind of setting up for the show too, I realized I don't have a lot of wild platies anymore. So, the only ones I have left are these Pueblo platies, and these guys they're kind of getting old. So I'm gonna have to get on the stick for that. So let's go ahead here and one thing I will bring is definitely some cherry shrimp. I cleaned this tank out recently, so I'll show you these guys. I am going to bring the male Pasilia picta for the fish show too, and that might be a good thing because I think that female is kind of grabbing, so maybe the fry can have some spots to hide in. So Susan's here. Welcome. All right, head on downstairs. All right, got this. I'm not bringing him, but this is the fish I'm working on, this rainbow cichlid. So I've got one in here for Breeders' Awards. This is kind of like the last thing I got for the moment anyway. And some tiny ones are in here, which you're not going to see. There's some bigger ones in here, which I've got like 4 in there. So I need 6. So I need to get one of those to grow out, and then we'd be good to go. All right. In terms of other fish that I'm bringing to the auction, I'm bringing a lot of plants too. Like you're gonna see the guppy grass. You'll see some of the cryptophinus. Um, I am gonna bring some of the. I got my chair. Sorry. So I am gonna bring some of these. These are the Antinobes toweri. These are the blue-tailed gudaids. These actually have GPS location information with them as well. So that will all come with those. I'm going to bring those for the auction. I will show you this. This Chapelixes and Causis I'll bring for the one of the big ones for the fish show. I'm not going to bring any of the fry for those. Just don't have enough yet. I kind of hoard my gudaids a little bit, just until I get a really big colony going. That's just kind of what I do with them. But these are really easy. Everyone's had great luck with these, and you see that they have the albino traits with them as well. So there's a pretty good number of like larger albinos in here now. There's a baby one too. See a little baby one. So yeah. I think one of the challenges for like a fish show like this is keeping everything alive, like long enough to survive like the numerous days in the fish show. So, I will probably bring some of the Java Fernata here for the auction. I'm probably not going to bring the trout goodeids just because of what happened with the swap. I mean, they basically went. You know, I don't. That's like I said. One of the challenges with these is keeping them alive for that many number of days. So, I will definitely bring these. These are the Lemia Islay. So I'll bring probably at least a couple groups of those. If I can catch some of these, like littler Neolamprologus multifasciatus, I will. But I hate catching shellies, so we'll, I just want to show you these rainbow fish too. These are some of my favorites, along with the big Elaphorus robustus right there. He's an absolute monster. He's actually still kind of small, so yeah. So if we go back over here, kind of show you the chaos that's developing. I'm actually going to have to like build like a mini rack, I think. But what I like to do with these is I have all these 2.5 gallon tanks, and I basically like to keep. I'll fill these with water, and then basically I'll catch the fish out. I'll probably do the water fill probably Saturday or Friday or Saturday. Sunday I'll start netting all the fish out for the show and for the and for like the auction, and we'll just get going on it. So I've got some more 10-gallon tanks to set up here, and then I'm probably going to build a makeshift rack along this wall here just to have some room to put stuff. So it's going to be, and then I'm going to have to, I do have enough containers to carry everything, especially for the fish show. But that'll be, you'll see all that. And then it's going to be dark out, but we'll go outside for just a second. I have all my buckets here cleaned out, ready for water too. So when I said I was going to take my water, I've got all the buckets at least cleaned. I've got lids for them all too. So They're in the house, but that's kind of the plan right now is for the Clash. Got a ton of bags and everything, so I'm good there. I would love to take some of these to either like a swap or somewhere, but they just don't travel very well. And, you know, I think they're a little oversaturated in our area, but, maybe, you know, someday I'll get ballsy enough to travel with those. One thing I am probably going to bring to the auction though is the Vienna guppies. I'm kind of tired of them. They don't breed very well, and they're just kind of a pain. So I'm going to bring the Vienna guppies. I at least have a male and female left of these, but I'm going to bring those. Just kind of had enough of them. They're fun for the last 3 or 4 years that I've had them, but yeah, kind of a little bit over them. So let you guys see the inside the Dodroid. That's not a dumb question. So a lot of times though, like when you're selling something, you want to actually have people see the fish. So what they'll do is they'll just hide their shells the whole time. So, I mean, what I like to do when I sell shellies is I'll have the fish in like one bag, and then I'll bag like 4 or 5 shells on top of it, so there's at least some shells for the person to start with. But that's one of those. Yeah, that's the problem is because they'll stay in the shells when you're trying to sell them too, and so you want people to actually see that there's fish in there. So that's not a dumb question though. I'll probably take some dwarf sage too. I'll show you some of that. Like I sold some of that too with the that went pretty quick too. So yeah, so I kind of have the same setup up here. I've got my for some smaller stuff here. So we're gonna have this going pretty hard by the time we're get it going. So I've got some 10 gallons too that I'm probably gonna have to set up as well. But I'm gonna clear out some of this dwarf sage in here, so I'll bring some of that. I'll probably bring some of the shorter stuff. Some of it obviously is not dwarf anymore, so might bring some of these Pasilia Geely too. I know that the glare is kind of bad with these, but yeah, I might bring some of these too. I've never sold these before, but there's a fairly decent number of them in here right now, so I may bring a pair or something of those, somebody to try out. So. All right, I think with that, yeah, I think we'll go ahead and head inside real quick and kind of finish this up real quick. But that's kind of the story. And then next week, I'm actually not going to stream because I'll be knee deep getting ready to go for the fish show. So probably that weekend, and I'm guessing probably the Tuesday after the Clash 2, I'm probably going to be not in the mood to stream. I'm going to be probably pretty tired at that point. So, yeah. So with that, let's I'll come inside real quick and we'll kind of wrap up and go from there. So give me a couple seconds to head on inside. Hope you guys are enjoying the dark. There we go. Got some light now. No, I didn't run into anything metal. That's just, I think there was something on the table that I set the phone on. So yeah, so like I said, probably the next 2 weeks we'll probably not be streaming. We'll be getting ready to go and getting ready for the chaos that's going to befall me starting a week from now. So, but yeah, so thank you guys for joining. It's been a lot of fun. So we will see you guys next stop is Pennsylvania at the Keystone Clash. Looking forward to seeing all of you and meeting the folks that I've not met before. So it's been it'll be a lot of fun and really looking forward to it. So with that, have a great night. Check out Bentley if he's streaming. And with that, have a great week. And if you're able to, I'll see you in Pennsylvania.